Welcome to the Truck Your Podcast. My name's Sebastian.
My name's Jose, guys.
How's it going?
Good, dude.
Pretty good. So today we're gonna do audience questions. Yeah?
Alrighty.
Are you ready?
I'm
we
excited.
have a lot of them. Did you see how much we have?
No, I haven't. I haven't even looked at them. So.
Yeah. So we had Liz. Thank you for helping out with this. She put it together for us. We have a lot of questions from the audience, and I'm gonna have to like zoom in. There's just so many of them. We're gonna have to figure out, but. Let's just get right into it because we have a lot. Let's try to do as many.
It looks
as
like
we
a lot. I'm looking at it
can.
right now.
Yeah. My 2014 Volvo has no option to view codes in the diagnostics menu. Can I use a standard OBD2 scan tool to get the codes? Is it possible to change a setting so that I can access all the modules via the diagnostics menu?
Yes, there has to be an option. Possibly, if it was like a fleet-owned truck, they probably didn't have that option.
It is, and it's actually on some of the blue trucks we bought. Yeah, and they just don't want the drivers
to be messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's so I think a visit at a dealer or a shop that will just turn it on for you.
Just switch some parameters on there. And
yeah, but can you
definitely doable?
You can get some codes on the OBD, but
I don't think everything.
I don't think very few. But it's like I think just stop by at a shop and have it turned on. I have a D12 before me. It's a 05 gear ratio 373, has 24 tire size. It has 10 speed. Will that gear ratio be good for over the road or regional work that you can? Thank you for great info. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't think so.
Thank you. And this is from Captain Noubi. And the first question I read was from Jonathan H. So that was on our video buying a truck under $20,000, and the gear ratio for regional work.
That seems too high. 375.
It's
way
road.
Too high.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That'd be local runs.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I'll look at
355 and lower, even 336.
Mm-hmm. As low as you can go for regional. Yes, for sure. Okay. We have one from Bradman about on one of our videos about the one I did in Europe, the Scania drive.
Yeah.
How's the V8 power and why V8 power is, why is there no V8 power diesels anymore? Because Detroit did that and they walked away from that, and Scania is just they continue to do it, and maybe we could talk about that for a little bit. What do you think?
Why did they walk away from it?
Mm-hmm. Let's just be experts in opinion right now. We'll just be.
I would say
a personal opinion.
I would say it would suck to remove an exhaust manifold on a V8. Like I know Cats had like those 3408s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And from the pictures that I've seen, that exhaust manifold is right in between that frame rail, and if you have a broken stud, that would suck.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's one big reason why. Another one would be
if you're going for power, I'm assuming yes, but I really don't know anything about Scania's V8s, and what I can tell you. The inline six is a lot more efficient, and that's why everybody
went with the inline six. Yeah,
does that. V8 Scania is a thing of it's cool. People they talk about the power. It's it's different. And
what year was that one that you drove?
The one I drove was 13.
13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it only had SCR on it.
No, wait, just SCR, no DPF?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they meet the emissions there with
the SCR.
With the SCR, yeah. So we should do a Euro versus American emissions podcast. That would be interesting.
Did you ask your buddy like how often he has any issues with them, like EGR related or?
Not as
not
many.
At that mileage.
No,
right?
They did have a period where I don't know which Euro was it, the recent one when a lot of the trucks have issues, just like we have, but he has older models, so he's he's doing. He doesn't have as many as we do, and it's. I think Europe is denser, and there's just a lot of shops there that there's just a lot more. I think I might be wrong, but I think there's a lot more shops that can handle, because a lot of those trucks are it's the same thing, just like here. But I don't know. Not everybody is in the middle of nowhere, America, good versed with emissions.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to find a usually dealer. I feel like it's different in Europe, but let's go next. Buying a semi. Those under video. Buying a semi truck for under $20,000. That's from Doug Bostrom. I'm looking at buying tandem sleeper with a Detroit or Cummins engine. I like the Volvo and Freightliner. I'm using this semi to pull a wedge 5 to 6 car hauler. Or I'm going to route getting a 53 step deck trailer. Looking to spend around $15,000 to $30,000.
Truck and trailer to get started.
No, just the
on
truck. From what I'm seeing. That was in our video, buying a truck under $20,000. So, car hauler. I don't know, because if you're doing it for car hauling and then he wants to get into 53 and then some other modes.
You have to have a wet kit for the car hauler. I mean, it depends what kind of trailer he's going to be doing.
Yeah, but step deck trailer for hot shot and run the northeast and southeast along with Midwest and some West Coast. So there's a lot of fear, a lot of going on here. I think.
I think he has to concentrate more on what he actually wants to do.
Yeah, sticking with one.
Yeah, exactly.
And because the most optimal thing is going to be, I mean, with the car hauler that throws a core. It's a little bit difficult with the wet kit.
The wet kit, yeah, it's going to be a little bit. Let's say to get the wet kit started, like 3,500 easy.
Yeah.
If it doesn't already come up with a wet kit, so.
Okay, perfect. Right. What about early symptoms of diesel engine rebuild video? Thank you as always. Please make sure more videos on early symptoms towards overhaul.
Oil consumption, that'd be number one. Oil consumption, or it would be cross-contamination with fluids. You start getting coolant in the oil. More blow-by. That's leading to worn-out cylinders.
Yeah. From Jaquez, cheap semi-truck. Video was cheap semi-truck for sale, making a smart purchase. Is a ProStar with the Cummins ISX a good truck?
It's definitely better than going with a Max Horse.
Yeah, it is. The only thing is,
international parts are expensive. That's something. Yeah. I know those shocks and the sleeper airbag. It's a 2-in-1 on those ProStars. When they first came out, they were like $700-800 a piece, dude.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm pretty sure they went down a little bit more.
The only thing I would say is I'm not a fan of the quality of the interior
on the ProStars.
And it's just the way it looks. It's just my personal preference. But
yeah,
if you can live with it and you like it, that's a good setup. I'm about to buy my first truck. This is from Hostville. I don't know. They're really on a video buying a truck in a recession that we did. I'm about to buy my first truck. Which do you recommend, Freightliner or Volvo 630 for running regional? I think
Freightliner with what?
Yeah, I think
what model?
So what I would recommend is listen to our previous podcast on the top 3, the regional section. We covered a lot.
Yeah.
So if you go back 1 week, then you'll get your answer. Thank you for the question. Diesel emissions delete. Am I screwed? Video. that was one that's we did. It was the podcast we did actually.
Okay.
Driving. What do you think about using chemicals to clean the emission system, like diesel force be promoting?
That's already being done, like with the 7th injector.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like
But I
about
think
like,
he means about using
like a pressure like
Mhm.
shooting diesel with pressure
Yeah.
at the filter. I've heard of guys doing pressure wash, and I've heard of guys using some degreaser, but I never heard of
Yeah.
diesel itself, to be honest.
But it
That's a
is
first.
it's highly not recommended because
No.
of the way soot and how it's packed in the filter, and the process is so there's a specific process that you just don't want to breathe that you know.
It's number one, it's not healthy, and if you're willing to risk of damaging a filter, I mean,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah, just don't. I wouldn't.
At your own
wouldn't
risk.
recommend it. It's your own risk. Yeah. J&G vlogs. Here's why Volvos are good semi-trucks. That was a video I did about Volvos. He's asking, I just bought a 2007 Volvo with a D12 and it's an automatic transmission. What do you think about that automatic transmission? 10-speed Eden. Good.
Good.
We have a lot of high mileage. Those just take care of them. Batteries, air. Number one thing. Always look at your batteries when you have an automatic transmission. Next, let's do. Why don't you buy trucks from the auto auction? You have all the resources. They also finance up to 60 months. Somebody asked me that question. But on our new semi trucks arrive video. Because if I can get a good deal from a known source, I would rather go with that.
Then buying let's say a lemon.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 50-50.
And even it's a 50-50. The thing is, it's just like
There's a reason why it's at an auction, right?
it's definitely a good question for me. But I would say there's a reason it's on an auction, and it's just a lot more work. Right? You have to, the difference between going to an auction versus dealing with one person or a couple of people that have access to fleets is easier, because you not only can get a lot more info about those trucks, you understand them better, and with going to an auction, you have to go specific times, but you have to think fast, but you have to have specific times, and you have others competing for that truck, and it's just like, I just want to go in, look at a package deal, and then pull the trigger and just get them going. Right, versus it's the time and how we know, because you can go to auction and find, a lot of fleets are selling via auctions, but then we just have to do a lot more work, right?
And you can't really do much at an auction, right? Like as far as like
drive it,
yeah,
or just some of them are oftentimes just completely dead, and it's just like, it's a headache. It's a lot more headache, and ultimately, what's worth buying at an auction? I mean, if you're buying two couple trucks, maybe, I think as an owner, it's worth definitely going into an auction and doing your research, and yes, you can save some money, but as a fleet,
I mean, he kind of does have a point, like, because you do have the resources, but we would have to have a bigger shop.
I agree.
Like, your buddy.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think for us,
at the point
what
where
we
we're
did,
at,
that makes more sense. And I'm not saying auctions, of course. If we could do that, we could do that. We could, but I think we have to have a bigger shop or a second location, or
more text to whip that kind of projects out.
Yeah. But that's a very good question. On DJ Smiley 77 on our video, how to buy a used Volvo D13. How can you tell that turbo and actuator was swapped?
I mean, we've done a video on one of our trucks when we went to go look at it. You will, first on the turbo, you will notice some fresh rust compared to the other components.
Yeah.
And the actuator, more than likely, it's aluminum body, and you will see a brand new component as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be a better video to explain. But just look at the. I think we mentioned that even.
Do you think maybe like if we started doing like pictures in the descriptions, maybe it would, or I don't know if you
we could. We should just do better videos.
True. We have the resources, but
we have the resources. Why don't you guys do better videos? We should. We are definitely trying to do more, but also increase the quality and the value we're extracting from everything. Would you think buying a Volvo that had motor trouble for cheap, say under $10,000, and doing the Volvo premium overhaul kit would be a good idea? Say being the truck under $40,000 with warranty. It's a very good question, I think, and that's from Twink One. On one of our new semi trucks arrived.
It would and it wouldn't. It would because you don't have to worry about the engine, but I would say you would have to look at the cab, make sure there's no rust on the lower side, and if there is, address it. Frame rails as well, because we've seen a couple of them rust out pretty bad. And just make sure that the trans and the rear ends are in good condition, and then possibly I would go for it.
Mm-hmm. What I'm missing here is what
year
engine are we talking about?
Yeah.
And what year? And
I'm assuming it's a D13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it also
depends.
It's
a good point. But that's a good point though. So let's say, because I've had that conversation with some people. Because we mentioned somewhere, and people send me questions about it, and I've been talking to other people that listen to us, and then I'll come to the shop. Why wouldn't you overhaul D12 or D13? And we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But but maybe we are. Maybe I am wrong about it. I don't know. Maybe I should overhaul it. But at the same time, the way I look at things is more from a fleet perspective versus owner op. If I had that truck and knew the truck, then I would definitely consider it. So I have to clarify it, because we said we wouldn't, but if I have a really good condition D12, then I would definitely consider it.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you have a D12, you bought it a long time ago, the truck is really, really good condition. Your engine goes at 2 million, 2.5 million.
Yeah, I mean, if you already did work on the transfer was swapped out, and you never touched the engine, and your truck, you've done plenty of work to it.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
You've invested so much in it already that.
Yeah. So just estimating overall condition of the truck and the cost you have in it, and then what about D13 then? Because for 25, you can, depending on the mileage, we've had those situations when somebody has 800,000 on the D13. I'm like, should I overhaul it? I'm like, well, look at the entire truck.
Yeah.
And then maybe buy just. But it's a headache of buying a truck, right? You have to find. You don't know anything about it. You're risking also, right? But if you're gonna overhaul, what did you see the D13 Volvo Overhaul quote from a Volvo dealership?
Yeah, that was way, 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 way too high.
It's like the all-in was like $40,000.
That was way too much.
We had,
but I think that was with they were swapping out the block, I believe.
Oh, we do have a listener. Yes, I think there was a block, a new.
I think his bull gear went out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bull gear went out, and he had shavings in the oil. They dropped the oil pan. Bearings were scored. crank as well. Obviously, he needed to get the bull gear done, and yeah, it was quite a bit of labor on that.
Yeah, we do have a customer that wants to overhaul D12, and we talked about that for a little bit. But I think Volvo gave him a quote just for parts. Guess how much? Did I tell you?
No,
think I did.
No, you didn't tell me on the quote. I know the guy's interested in doing the overhaul.
So just for parts, guess the part, just the complete overhaul, everything. The D12.
Is it going to be like a new cylinder head, new injectors?
Mm-hmm.
What I would say 16?
20.
20?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plus labor.
Plus labor. Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking at doing it for him. So you know, it is going to be expensive, but you do get the warranty when you overhaul.
He does know his truck. He has invested a lot in his truck.
Mm-hmm. It is. He did. Yeah. So that's definitely perfect. I think to finish today, I wanted to talk about one of our listeners says, "Say just bought a 2012 Cascadia mid-roof, 623,475 DD15 10-speed, 336 ratio, owner up spec, new steers, new disc brakes. Truck is immaculate. Guess how much he paid?
With 600,000.
620. Yeah, 620,000.
And what year was it?
2012.
2012.
Mid-roof.
I would say DD15, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I would say what, 28, 30?
14,000.
No way.
Good job, Nathan.
14,000?
Seriously.
That's a
that's a really
steal.
good buy.
Yeah.
So congrats.
Yeah,
congrats.
good job.
Good job. Very good job. Thank you for the comment.
Where did he buy it?
It's on our
Auction or
video.
what?
That was how to buy a cheap truck that will make you money. That's a really good buy.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, for that price.
Yeah. So very good. Nice. You can make that back very quickly. And oil analysis and dyno came back very clean.
Nice. Good purchase.
So
good purchase.
Congrats, Nathan.
And see,
Nathan
he went with
Stack.
the oil analysis too.
Nice. Yeah. So he's listening and doing the right things. Perfect. I think we covered some questions. We have more, but I think we should just break it up to different. I'm gonna run through some of them and organize them so we have a little bit better flow. And yeah, I think thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, share, and talk to you soon.